To go through our group project, our initial ideas, we'll start off with our sketch schemes. So my sketch schemes, Natasha Brown's, is a 3-storey townhouse, a detached house, a bungalow, an emergency housing pod. Then we've also got Lucy's ideas, which is emergency housing. We've got a bungalow. We've also got a standard house and a townhouse. And then moving along, we're going to Lucretia's ideas, in which she's got emergency house here, she's got a townhouse here, she's got a modern terrace here, and a bungalow here. And then lastly, we've got Toby's ideas, in which we've got his townhouse, and obviously all the details. We've got his stilt house idea, and then we've got his bungalow here. To go through our group project as well, we did a mind map. On the mind map, we went through 6 different areas. So from the development project, we've got types of buildings, the processes, areas of development, sustainability, materials, and emergency housing. The types of buildings we are looking for is the emergency housing, in which we've sort of looked at pods, timber framed, prefabricated, and many other issues, just down to the 2007 flooding. Then we also require 3 different types of housing to be available. So we've sort of gone for a townhouse, which is 3-storey. We've also gone for a standard house, which could be a detached or semi-detached. We did look at flats and sort of a bungalow as well. The areas of development we can choose from our brownfield site, which obviously is a location that's been used for a different purpose. We've got a greenfield site, which is untouched and undeveloped land in the different areas of Gloucester, Tewkesbury and Cheltenham. We can look at the planning portal to see what's already been sort of declined for planning, and obviously we can use the local plans that are available to us. For sustainability, obviously drainage will be a major area that we'll need to look at. This obviously to combat flooding, pollution and damage to the environment. Materials, we need to be using sustainable materials such as wood, which can obviously be replaced and replanted, and we need to look at using sort of local materials to watch our carbon footprint. Waste management is also a big area to look at, so we can sort of recycle and only order what is needed for site. Our emergency housing, the ideas sort of we've come up with in a bit more detail is sort of a house being built on stilts. So in the event of flooding, the homes will be unaffected. Prefabricated houses, which can be sort of built quickly and brought in the event of flooding. We've sort of looked at shipping container housing, which is a new innovative design that has been used elsewhere. And pods, again, which is innovated, can be ordered in bulk and in wood, meaning sustainable. Materials we can look at using are sort of wood, steel, concrete, cladding and brick. We'll need to look at these in a bit more detail to make sure our site is sustainable and using efficient methods available. Then the processes, again, we need to look at for doing a new build site is obviously planning permission from the councils. We need to look at the history of the location. So we need to look at the neighbouring properties, what happened in 2007, what flood defences are in place. The programme of works, because it is going to be a large project, we need something in place to make sure we are not missing any processes. And the surveys that can be required and will be required depends on whether we choose a brownfield or greenfield site location. The greenfield locations that we find out are obviously 3 locations in Tewkesbury. So we've got 1, 2, 3 here. Then in Gloucester we have again 3 locations, 1, 2 and 3 here. There is a possibility in Cheltenham of a greenfield site, but it isn't currently up for sale. Moving on to the brownfield sites that we have located, we've got one here in Maysmore. We find another one here in Ashchurch. Then another one again in Tewkesbury. Going through. I'm just showing you on a map where it is. And then lastly we have another one in Norton, Tewkesbury. So we just need to go through and decide which location we are going to use for the project.